Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anile Ezuko Israel. This is a dashboard I created. It is a car sales report. As you can see here on my dashboard, the total number of customers was 3,022. Total number of companies, 30. Total dealers, 28. Total dealer region, 7. Generating a total income of $19.86 billion. Now to the total income by gender. As you can see, the male gender contributed the highest to the total income, the total revenue, which is at $16.0 billion, compared to the females, which is at $3.9 billion. So the female contribution to the total revenue is very low compared to the males. The males contributed more. Now to the total sales and income by year. The year 2022 recorded the lowest, which is at $9.11 billion, compared to the year 2023, which was high, which is at $10.75 billion. So 2022 was very, very low, and it increased drastically in the year 2023 to $10.75 billion. Okay? Now to the top three dealers by total income. As you can see here, the top three dealers are Progressive Shippers Cooperative Association, Rabban Used Cars, Car Sales, and the Race Car Help. The Progressive Shippers Cooperative Association is at $1.12 billion, followed closely by the Rabban Used Car Sales, which is at $1.09 billion, and to the Race Car Help, which is at $1.06 billion. It is represented here on my dashboard. Okay. Now to the top five companies by prices. As you can see here, Chevrolet is on the high, which is at $48 million, followed closely by the Ford, which is at $47 million, Dodge, $44 million, Oldsmobile, which is $35 million, and Mercedes-Benz, which is at $35 million. As you can see here on my dashboard. Okay, now to the total eight car models by customers. You can see here the Elantra seems to be on the high among customers. Elantra seems to be more preferable for customers. This is at 65, followed closely by Century, which is at 44, Sentra 44 as well. Ascent, which is at 35, V40 22, Mirage 19, Avalon 15, and Sebring, which is convertible, which is at 10. So most customers prefer the Elantra model compared to the other ones here. So now to the top five customers by annual income and price. I can see here Emma is on the high, which is at 78 million. Yes. Up next is Lucas. Lucas is at 74 million. To Thomas, 69 million. To Lee, which is said 55 million. And Alexis, which is 60 million. So these are the top five customers by annual income. And the end, what's it called? Highly. So now to the annual income and sales by month. As you can see here, as you can see here, as you can see here, um, January and March, they had 0.6 billion compared to December. December is high. It's way too high. So 2.9 billion generated in the month of December. So December is high, while January is the lowest. January and March, they are the lowest, which is at 0.6 billion. Yes. So as you can see the patterns here, it was low in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, um, it increased. It was way too high in the fourth quarter. So Now to the dealer region by annual income and sales. As you can see here, um, Austin um, generated the highest revenue, which is at $3.4 billion, followed by Janesville, which is at 3.2 billion, to Scottsdale, 2.8 billion, Pasco, 2.7 billion, Aurora, 2.6 billion, Greensville, 2.6 billion, and Middletown, which is at 2.6 billion. So you can see the dealers here and their regions based on the total revenue and sales generated. You can see Austin is the highest. Austin is the highest, and Middletown is the lowest. Yes. Now to my slides here, based on the engine. So if you want to see for double A overhead camshaft, just click here. So you can see it's changing. The mill is still topping based on the engine, the double A overhead camshaft. The total sales income by here, you can see here, still Progressive Shippers Cooperative Association, still topping. But for the second position here, Suburban Ford is on the second position, and Scrivener Performance Engineering is third, based on the top three dealers and based on the engine type. So you can see here, top five: Dodge, Ford, Volkswagen, Chrysler, Chevrolet. You can see here, based on engine. For the top eight models by customers, you can see C-Class is topping, based on the double A overhead camshaft. As you can see here, December had the highest as well. So, but the sales by month is different based on the double A overhead camshaft. So then for dealer region by annual sales, you can see here Middletown is still the least, and Austin is still the highest. Then if we want to check for the overhead camshaft engine, and then we'll click on it. You can see males for the camshaft, overhead camshaft engine. You can see the Corolla is topping, is at 71. Next Elantra, which is at 65. So for based on the overhead camshaft engine, you can see here the top five customers. Lucas is at 41 million. You can see here Rabban Used Cars topping. Progressive Shippers Cooperative Association is number two. You can see here Chevrolet is topping as well, based on the top five companies. You can see here on my dashboard is represented here. Okay. Now to my insights and recommendations. Like I said, the total number of customers was 3,022, with a total number of 30 companies, 28 dealers, and 7 dealer regions, generating a total income of $19.86 billion. The male gender generated the highest amount in total revenue, $16.0 billion, while the female was $3.9 billion. The year 2022 generated the lowest sales, $9.11 billion, while 2023 was the highest, $10.75 billion. Progressive Shippers Cooperative Association, Rabban Used Car Sales, and Race Car Help were the top three dealers, generating $1.12 billion, $1.09 billion, and $1.06 billion, respectively. So I said that earlier. Based on prices, Chevrolet was the highest, $48 million, closely followed by Ford, $47 million, Dodge, Oldsmobile, Mercedes-Benz. So the top eight car models by customers were Elantra, Century, Sentra, Ascent, V40, Mirage, Avalon, and Sebring. Top five customers by annual income was Emma, $78 million, Lucas, $74 million, Thomas, $69 million, Alex, $60 million. Then December had the highest annual income by month, which is at $2.9 billion, while January and March had the lowest, which is at $0.6 billion. For annual income by dealers region, Austin generated the highest, $3.4 billion, while Middletown was the lowest, which is at $2.6 billion. Okay, now to my recommendations. I recommend that a targeted marketing campaign should be focused on the female gender to boost their contribution to total revenue. Like I said, their contribution, the females, is very low compared to the males. So their contribution to the total revenue needs to be boosted. Okay, total income should be stabilized to avoid a drastic fall in the coming years. As you can see, it is not stable, so it needs to be stabilized in the coming years to avoid a drastic fall in the coming years in the year 2024, 2025. So it needs to be stabilized. Okay. Now, the bottom dealers by total income like Nebo Chevrolet, Classic Chevy, they need to improve their strategies to boost patronage and revenue generation because their contributions to total income is low compared to all the top dealers. So their contribution, so these are the top dealers, and these are the lowest, Nebo Chevrolet and Classic Chevy. So they need to improve to boost their revenue generation and patronage level for them to still be relevant in the market. Okay, customers should be encouraged to go for cheaper companies if their goal is to save costs and maximize benefits, because prices for the Jaguar and Hyundai companies are relatively low compared to the expensive companies. Yes, so Jaguar and Hyundai, the prices are low compared to um compared to the Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Oldsmobile, Mercedes-Benz. Now, some customers might prefer to go for the most expensive ones, fine. If they want something for a status symbol, so it depends on the customers. But if you are looking for a car model for what's it called? For to save cost and maximize benefits. So I recommend that you go for Jaguar and Hyundai. So just for you to save cost. The least preferred models by customers need to do more to boost patronage and to increase their customer base. Like I said, these are the top 8 car models by customers. So the least preferred, they need to do more to what's it called? To increase their customer base. A campaign should be focused on customers like Elanche and Clement to boost their contribution to total revenue. Most definitely, yes, customers like that. So also sales needs to improve to boost revenue and stabilize the fluctuations in quarters one, two, and three to achieve an even contribution of months to total revenue. Like I said, quarters one, two, three, it seems to be total revenue seems to be fluctuating very low. So it needs to be worked on and increased. And even if we know, yes, the fourth quarter seems to be the first of periods, but it doesn't mean. So customers still buy the purchase cars during the first, second quarters. So it needs to be worked in and improved. So and finally, the low performing dealer regions should put more effort into boosting their contribution to revenue. Like I said, these regions like the Middletown, the Greensville, or rural, so they need to put more effort to contribute to the total revenue and total sales, overall performance. So they need to put more effort for them to be relevant in the market. Okay, that'll be all from me. And thank you so much for listening and do have a wonderful day.